Hello, this is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this broadcast. This is a continuation of a series on how to use a whole person approach or whole health approach to wellness, and in particular to diabetic management, diabetic prevention, diabetic reversal. Um, as you know, uh, being diabetic is a big challenge. It's a life-changing experience for any new diabetic, and really it's a family experience for somebody who is the only diabetic person in that family. Now, over the last several days, I've been using this model exemplified by this diagram uh, that health, I think, is best achieved when we seek it in body, mind, and spirit. And then the question is, how can we apply these principles to our family so that each family member ideally is also pursuing health in body, mind, and spirit? So the thing that I'd like to focus on today is to try to foster in the family as many shared experiences of value as possible. And today I'd like to encourage you to focus on the shared value of spiritual convictions. Now, one of the things that we talked about last week was the idea of taking advantage of every possibility of eating a meal together to be able to experience the presence of family, that has and that causes a support system to be felt and experienced by any person who is dealing with a chronic problem, and in particular, in this case, diabetes. Now, uh, when family members share spiritual values and are able to converse about them and bring them, in a sense, to the table where we're all eating together, this is a very powerful way for any person who is experiencing challenges to feel connected, and to feel connected at the level that is most healing, which is our spiritual lives. Now, I've also talked about the idea that this particular channel and broadcast is connected to the idea of Christian spirituality. So if we imagine that everybody sitting around the table is able to understand and discuss and share what's going on in their lives with the spiritual part of their lives, and bring that to the situation that is being uh, um, wrestled with the family, and that brings a completely different dimension to the family, because it's like God has a seat at the table. And when people are perceiving that God has a seat at the table, they act differently. Just imagine for a moment how you would feel if Jesus was sitting at the table with your family while you're talking about whatever the issue is. That issue might be how to have better meal times, how to behave differently at the meal times, what you're eating at meal times. All of these things, which are potentially shared family experiences, become embellished with this new perspective when we experience God sitting at the table with us, which we can when we have this shared family spiritual value. So I encourage you to take the next step so that you are putting this out for people in your family to be sharing about. You might have to ask questions or say certain things that trigger comments from other people about what is important spiritually in their lives. But the more that we can bring this into the situation, the more that becomes a strength for the emotional lives of everybody that's in the family. And if you have diabetes, it's going to decrease the amount of stress that you feel. No matter where you're feeling stress, you will feel less stressed if you're sharing at this deep level with your family, and the spiritual life is part of that moment. It is truly a vacation away from the stress, no matter what it is, and it strengthens each person to either pursue what they need to have better diabetic control, or to prevent diabetes, or to help the family member who has those problems. So I encourage you to see family as the opportunity to let this whole person health approach become where the rubber meets the road. So it's nice to have these ideas of health, of body, mind, and spirit. It's in the family where we can most experience the rubber meeting the road, really making it happen in practice. So I encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities with your family. I wish you well and encourage you to share these ideas with others that would find them helpful. God bless and have a great day.